on the suit. Drink water. Don't drink and drive.
Game over!
Take it light. Safe.
Now you're more fluent.
He got three!
Up, Bears.
So this is really good right here. Absolutely. Let's do it.
And good evening, everybody.
Come, Bears.
Welcome to the latest edition of We've Got Next. I'm Ricky Hampton with my great friend, former Bucks legend Paul Mokeski, the pride of Milwaukee and those legendary Buck teams up there. Mo, always good to see you, my friend. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Good to be seen, considering that I guess according to some people I couldn't play in the NBA today, but hey, I'm doing okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that, Mo. I mean, come on, man. Just don't show some respect. Show some respect. But that's the same guy that said he was going to be the focal point of the USA Olympic team. I'm the go-to guy. So we'll get to that. But because we love talking basketball with you, Paul. Of course, for all our viewers, you know Paul from his days. Not only he played with the Bucks for several years, he had stops in Detroit and Houston. Hey Mo, I saw
Cleveland, Golden State.
Bucks. Yeah, but you came to Milwaukee in '79, didn't you?
No.
I'm sorry, you came to Houston in '79.
Yeah, Houston in '79. Then I went to Detroit. Then I went to Cleveland. Then I went to Milwaukee. So I think probably '84, maybe '83.
Yeah, I was just noticing former Rockets assistant coach and GM Carol Dawson passed away.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
He was actually assistant coach when I was drafted.
Okay, yeah, I thought your paths may have crossed in Houston, and he was part of the administration that won the two titles when Olajuwon was there, and he was there when they drafted Yao Ming. Carol Dawson, long time Rockets assistant in Germany, passed away at 86.
Yeah, he was a great guy, gentle guy. He was actually, before he became an assistant with the Rockets, he was the Converse shoe rep for half the league, and then was hired as assistant coach, and then went on from there. But just a really nice guy, a nice guy.
Hey, Mo, when did you guys start getting the shoe deals?
Well, I got one my rookie year, so I don't know if they started before that, but they weren't as lucrative. When I came in the league, shoe companies, there was only a couple. It was Converse, it was Nike was getting in the play, and Adidas. And their plan was to get as many players in the league wearing their shoes as possible. So then you have all these people on TV all the time wearing your shoes. But then when Magic and Larry Bird came along, then they just focused in on one specific player and give them most of the money. And that's how it turned out to be Michael Jordan making all that money, because it went from let's get everybody in the league wearing our shoes to let's just get the best players wearing our shoes. What's up, Dana?
Yeah. Hey, Dana, welcome, man. Hey, thank you. That is a wonderful compliment. Well, we certainly appreciate it.
Dana's up in Reno. He's a friend of mine in Reno, and Reno has about 3 breakout fires with people losing houses, losing electricity, and being evacuated. So stay safe up there, in Reno, Dana.
Oh yeah, Dana. We nothing but good thoughts and wishes for you, my man. But thank you so much for checking in, and of course to our viewers out there, any questions and comments, please let us know. Any kind of question you got for Mo, he's one of the most knowledgeable guys you will find in this business. He's been there and done that 2 or 3 times over, Mo.
I know a lot because I've seen a lot.
Yes, sir. Hey, Mo. How was the opening weekend of the NFL for you? Did you sit back, kick back, and enjoy some games?
I did, but it was a terrible weekend. I mean, my Chiefs barely won. My Packers lost. My Jayhawks lost to Illinois. So it's a tough weekend football wise for me. But I'm telling you, I watched a zillion college games on Saturday, and I watched a lot of NFL games on Sunday. It's interesting to me that there's 10 times more college games on TV than there is NFL. You could watch a
Oh
zillion
yeah,
college games on Saturday.
oh yeah. You can start watching from 11 a.m. Eastern time to midnight. I
Oh,
mean,
easy.
the
Yeah.
West Coast game, yeah, yeah. But Mo, you always talk about, hey, give me a college job over a pro job, basketball wise. Do you say the same thing football wise? Because I'm thinking about the situation in Notre Dame after they lost to Northern Illinois over the weekend.
Yeah, but guess what? After he lost that game, he's just signed a 5-year contract. Hey, you think if an NFL team lost to some, had a terrible season, they'd get renewed? Not usually, but I think football less so than basketball. Basketball, in college basketball, if you're at a decent level, you have at least 3 years to prove yourself. Because guess what you can say? Hey, my recruits haven't been in yet. They're developing. Give me another year, blah, blah, blah. And then even though you struggle, if you have one good year at the end of that 3 years, they give you another 4 years. In the NBA, it's
Yeah.
not like that. Just ask Darvin Ham. Just ask some of these guys that had a year and a half, maybe less than a year. Just ask Steve Nash that there's a shorter fuse in the NBA than there is in college basketball. Now, football is a little different. It seems to me that coaches, for the most part, in the NFL, get a little more leeway than in the NBA.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, Marcus Freeman, that's a bad loss for Notre Dame, though,
Yeah,
to
I mean,
lose to Northern.
yeah, I mean, they took it to him, and like the coach was crying after the game, and he says, "We weren't lucky, man. We beat them." He was right. I mean, they just came in. But you know what? You know what though, Ricky? It doesn't surprise me. With the transfer portal,
Yeah.
you could have 40 different players from all. They could have players from Texas A&M, Alabama, Florida, and they're just a transfer portal. You can become pretty darn good really, really fast in college sports today.
Well, you know who needs to hit the transfer portal again is Deion Sanders. Because man, the guys he's getting in the Colorado, his son is going to get killed up there, man.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
can't block.
he went
Oh,
in
go
there.
ahead.
He went in there. He cleaned house. He brought in like 50 new players, including his son. But they weren't. They were hot for about 4 or 5 games. But the transfer portal is very valuable and can turn you around very quickly. However, you must use it correctly, like anything. If you use a transfer portal to bring in guys that aren't that good, then it's not very good for you. So that goes to the assistant coaches, that goes to their recruiting, and the final goes to Dion. But you gotta evaluate players and get just like recruiting. Like I always said when I was at USC or Stony Brook in college, we're recruiting guys, by this list of 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars. Who makes these stars? We need to go see if these
Yeah.
players fit in with us and if they're really what they're advertised to be. And then you need to talk to them. Are they competitive? Are they tough? Will they fight through adversity? All that stuff comes into play, and it comes into play not as much because now you can change your whole roster in 1 year with the transfer portal. You don't like who you got, get rid of them, get new guys. It used to be you used to have to sit out a year, so you couldn't do that.
Hey, Paul, when you did that, when you recruited, of course you want a guy who can play. But what was the first thing you wanted to know about the person, not the player? We assume they're a good player.
Well, I mean, first thing you evaluate, you understand if they can shoot and run and jump, whatever, but then you want to see if they fit into your program. What do you do if you're recruiting a big 7-foot kid that's just playing low post and shooting hook shots, and you don't do that in your program, he's not going to be good in your program. If you recruit really athletic guys that can't shoot, and your offense is predicated on shooting threes, he can't fit in. So I went by, how they fit in with our team, their talent, how they fit in with our team, how they will transfer over. And then I want to see, their attitude. How do they relate to their coach? How do they relate to the refs? A bad call. How do they relate to their teammates? Do they blame them? Do they go, my bad all the time? I hate that. So you're watching everything. And, it's funny. I would go to high school games, and sometimes I want to watch, even if it's a blowout, and see if a good player, if he cheers on his other teammates. But I don't get to play. I'm out of the game now because of the blowout. Do I encourage my teammates? Am I good teammates? Stuff like that. That matters.
Yeah. Because I remember the point you made about the dream team. We're not looking for the 12 best players. You want the 12 men who make up the best team.
Yeah, I mean, the goal is to win, right? So, I don't need 12 3-point shooters. I don't need, I need a combination of guys. I need guys that can handle the ball, pass the ball, shoot the ball, drive the ball, protect the rim, roll to the basket and finish. I need all those guys, and then I need those guys to accept their role, not know their role, accept their role. And then, I mean,
Right.
Is it better to have a less talented player as your 11th man that's not going to play, and he's going to complain your less talented guy's going to be happy to be there. He's going to contribute when he can. He's going to help his teammates. Or the guy that thinks he should be starting, even though he's not going to play and he's not good enough, he's going to pout all the time. He's going to cause problems. I mean, all those things come into play.
Yeah.
I mean, like you're talking about Phil Jackson run the triangle offense, right? He ran it in Chicago, and he had guys like Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, but he also had guys like Bill Cartwright that could play center and wasn't expected to shoot a lot, but he was a good passer. So they gotta accept what they're gonna be, or they're gonna be a problem. What if in Chicago Bill Cartwright decided, well, I need to get 25 shots a game, and just started jacking up hook shots? The one, he wouldn't be in the game, but he's not going to help you win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I talk about him practically every week. A guy like Holiday, man, I just love that kind of player.
I mean, he does everything. He's a great team. How about this? In the last few years, he's a player that has won an NBA championship and a gold medal in the same year, twice with 2 different teams. How about that? That tells you something right there, right? He's a winner.
Yeah. Paul, this is from our guy Julio. Paul, you need to get back into coaching. You have so much knowledge to give. You're a builder of young men, not just basketball, but life. That's nice of you, Julio. Yeah. And it's true.
The coach is a great guy. He's in San Antonio, and unfortunately, that's passed me by. I'm helping people here and there, and trying to mentor some younger coaches, and trying to stay around the game. But anymore, coach, it's not your resume, it's not what you know, it's not how good you are, it's who you know and who's going to hire you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. For sure. Hey. Speaking,
we gotta talk, Ricky. We gotta talk. We got a baseball stadium in our background. Come on, man.
We have to talk to the people for Sports Fluid about that.
Yeah, we do. I mean, that's probably the least sport I know about. Sorry.
Yeah. Although we are at a great time of the year, Mo. NBA training camp starts the 27th. We'll be coming up to the end of baseball playoffs. NFL and college will be really getting in the groove. So it'll be a lot of stuff
And
going on in the
hockey starts too.
yeah in the next 6 weeks. So this is always a good time of year, and I got some NBA stuff I want to ask you about tonight, but I still we started off talking about the NFL weekend, and then we got caught on the Notre Dame thing.
That's what we do, man.
The kickoff. Did you like the new kickoff rule?
I don't know. It look number one, it looks funky, doesn't it? It just looks weird.
Yeah, I thought my TV was frozen, man.
And number two, what's the purpose? They're still kicking it out of the end zone. There's still no run back. It's another offensive rule, right? It's another offensive rule. Now I know the philosophy as well. Now the guys are closer, right? So they're not running full speed and contacting each other. So there's less head-on collisions, right? Okay, I see that. But now you're supposed to hit it in this target area. No one really does. And now instead of coming out to the 20, it's coming out to the 30. So that's good for the offense. I don't know why. If you're a football player and a kicker at the highest level, how come you can't put it in, like, put a little spin on it and put it in that return area where they have to return it and they got to pick up the ball off the ground or something. Instead, you're just kicking it through the end zone. But I'm watching the game now. The Jets and the Niners, they haven't had a run back yet. They've all kicked them out of the end zone. So I don't know. I mean,
and when they do run back, those collisions are still happening, man. If you're that ball carrier, you can still.
There's less.
You don't have it from the other guys. Yeah, it's no doubt about that.
Yeah. So,
but if you're running it, you can still get locked up. Man, we got a lot of people checking in. Our great friend Steve says, "What's up, guys?" Says he's late again. We're gonna start finding you, Steve. He's talking about my Lions. Yeah, man, that was a great win last night. I love the way they ran the ball. I told
you you were at a party and you wouldn't answer the phone, and I text you, and then when it went into overtime, I said, "Watch this a game-winning drive," and they did it, man. Their offensive line is amazing.
Yeah, Mo, but we're still getting accustomed to. They're really a good team.
Yeah, they are. I mean. Yeah. I think they're rated 3 or 4 in the whole league. I mean,
yeah, but after years of watching the line, people still like me. Damn, they're really good. They're really good. So I got to kind of get used to that. So I'm always on edge.
But like a lot of teams, though, like in football, you're one injury away. Look at the Packers with Jordan Love going down. They lost the game, and they lost him for probably a month or so. I mean. There goes your season almost. So it's just, the best ability is availability. We know that.
Mo, what do you think about them playing over in Brazil? Is that just more branding?
Yes, it's money. It's a money grab, and it's not fair to the players. If I was the Players Association, I would not. They must have agreed to it when they did their agreement, but you can't play on subpar conditions. And subpar conditions could be lighting, could be whatever, but those soccer fields are not made for 300-pound guys digging into the grass and pushing on each other. They're made for light, fast, quick athletes that run, and there's not as much contact. So, you saw it was a problem from day one. And for the NFL officials who, I know what they do because they've been there. NFL officials have been there for a month, watching how the grass is growing, seeing if they've been testing it to make sure to okay that when after the first 3 downs the cameras focus on a bad field. That's not fair to the players, man. Guys are slip sliding. I mean, that would be like like in the NBA, we play all over the world. We play in Italy, we play in China, but the court's the same. I mean, it would be like, okay, we're going to go play a game in France. The Lakers are going to play Golden State in France, but the floor is so slippery that guys keep falling down. How that would never happen. They would just stop the game. So I think they really need to clean up. I think there's 3 or 4 more games out of the country. I think they're all in England, I think. But playing on a soccer pitch, it's like playing. Look at the picture behind us. When they try to put a football field in there and you're playing on that dirt, it's the same thing.
Hey Mo,
Good.
I know you're part of the NBA Players Association.
Retired.
If you run across something, how can that work? Can you like notify your rep? Look, they aren't doing this, and this is a concern for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, I mean, you contact. Well, the player rep would contact the league, the president of the Player Association, who would contact the league and show their concerns. But it had to be done a long time ago. And the problem is, they've already agreed, evidently, to play in these soccer pitches, and so you can't go back. You have no footing now. You've already agreed to that.
Okay.
Steve
checks in, says Love might play next week.
No, yeah, I doubt it. I don't know why. I don't know why he would and risk the whole season. I mean, but we'll see. Where are they playing? They have another tough game, I think. But like back to those games, Ricky. So in the NBA, there's a deal. If you go, it's in the contract, in the Player Association contract. If you have games scheduled overseas, they have to be in NBA style arenas with NBA level footing, NBA level lighting, NBA level locker rooms, NBA level training rooms. All that is in contract. So if an NBA team went over to China and played, and it was a bad arena and the floor was terrible, they would be under their rights to not play that game.
Yeah. That's for their protections. Absolutely.
I mean, you're talking about careers and livelihoods. I mean, that's real stuff, man.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, speaking of careers, Anthony Edwards don't think you had much of a career, Mo. In fact, he doesn't think Kareem had much of a career, or Dr. J, or Dominique Wilkins, or Isaiah Thomas.
Well, I mean,
he said,
go ahead and say the quote. Go ahead.
He said, I didn't watch back in the day, so I can't speak on it. They say it was tougher back then than it is now, but I don't think anybody had the skill then. Jordan was the only one that really had skill. So that's why when they saw Kobe, they were like, oh my God, but now everybody has skills.
See, here's a problem. When you start a comment by saying, I didn't see people play back then, but I'm going to comment on, I'm not really know it, but I'm going to comment on it anyway, you're an idiot. So you should, it's like people, Ricky, if anybody starts a conversation with you and says, hey, no disrespect, but you're about to get disrespected. I mean, that's asinine to say that. Hey, I didn't see him play back then, but so how do you know? How do you know how talented they were? And so, but I don't know if he's looking for clicks or whatever, but it's so stupid. And he's a young talent. He's got bravado. That's great. He's got confidence. That's great. He's a really talented player, but hey, shut up. Shut up. Well, don't talk about what you don't know. I mean, let's see. Okay. Yeah. Here's a list for you. Okay. Everybody listen up. Here's a short list of highlights of the 90s NBA by Coach Paul Mokeski. Charles Barkley, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Reggie Miller, Chris Mullin, Scottie Pippen, Isaiah Thomas, John Stockton, Dave Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon, Kevin McHale, Clyde Drexler, Shaquille O'Neal, Tim Hardaway, Danny Manning. Did you ever see Danny Manning play? Latrell Sprewell, Penny Hardaway, And then let's go like towards the end. Chris Webber, Glenn Rice, Kobe, Kevin Garnett, Rasheed Wallace, Vince Carter, Allen Iverson, Jerry Stackhouse, Glenn Robinson. Need I go on? That's just a few names of
No,
guys that would
no.
kick ass in today's game. Sorry. And had skill. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, dude, come on, man. But he was the same guy that said he was going to be the go-to option on the USA Olympic team.
Yeah, but that's
Not
different though.
LeBron James, not Kevin Durant. I mean,
Yeah, but I
it
mean,
is different. This is asinine what he's saying now.
yeah, I mean that's different. That's showing confidence. Hey, I can play with these guys. These guys know I can play. I need to be the number one option, whatever. I hope coach. That's one thing. But to make comments on stuff you have no idea about. I mean, come on, you know, Michael Jordan's the only. How about this guy named Dominique Wilkins? Was he any good? I mean, come on, man. Some of these guys would tear him up. I mean,
Yeah.
crazy.
Hey,
Alex
and
English,
Steve,
yeah.
Steve, that's
Yes, Alex
great
English.
point,
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
And Mo, the thing with Alex
David Thompson.
English, but the thing with Alex English, it was like he wasn't jumping out the gym or running by anybody, man. He just
Yeah.
got the ball and put it in the basket.
George Gervin.
Oh my
George Gervin.
gosh.
Never broke a sweat, could score 50. But I mean, you know what? If I could talk to him, and I might text Chris Finch, the head coach of Minnesota. I might text him tonight. Hey, Chris, do me a favor and have your guy Ant Man watch some freaking video of the '90s and see what an idiot he is.
Yeah.
What a stupid
he
comment
needs
there
that.
was.
Yeah. He needs that. He needs that. Hey, Mo, who are you excited? I mean, the season's right around the corner. The first regular season game is, I think, the 23rd of October. And like I said, they go to camp on the 27th of September. What team are you excited to see?
Well, I think the teams that made moves are Philadelphia. You know, they made
Yeah.
a big move and added to their roster. I'm really excited to see Klay Thompson in Dallas. Remember, Dallas was in the finals last year, right? And
Yeah.
now they add a knockdown 3-point shooter that doesn't need to dribble the ball and put him next to Luka and Kyrie. It's a perfect fit, and he could score 30 in a quarter, you know, with guys helping out. So, you know, they added to their team. New York, the Knicks. I'm excited to see you know, how they gel together and see if Randall fits in with that group that went so far last year. I'm interested and scared to see what the Bucks do. Maybe they can come through and have a good year this year, and maybe a Giannis can stay healthy in the playoffs and maybe do some damage, because that obviously their window is closing fast. I think Middleton had surgery on his ankles over the summer, so hopefully he can come back. You know, the Lakers, we're going to see, you know, JJ Redick, a new coach, and, you know, they're more dangerous than people think. OKC, who's added some veteran backup for their young, talented team, and still have some room to make a trade because they have like 800,000 first-round draft picks stored up, you know, so they can still do some damage, but they added some size and experience. So it's going to be an interesting year. Boston has a chance to repeat. But you know, Porzingis, talk about him being out till Christmas. And do you know how that happens? Once that starts, oh, maybe he's not, you know, he's
Yeah.
behind schedule. Now we're talking January. Well, maybe we'll wait till the All-Star break. And with the Knicks, with Philly, with Milwaukee, you know, they could fall way back. You know, who knows? I mean, instead of the third and fourth seed, you get the fifth seed. You don't have home court the first series as the Celtics. That could be interesting. So, you know, so it's going to be an interesting year.
Dana asked Coach, you remember Dale Ellis?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Dale's a knockdown 3-point shooter, but when Ant was talking about, he was talking about like skill. Because I left off guys like Patrick Ewing and guys like that were great players, Robert Parrish, but he was talking about they don't have the skill. Well, all the names I listed off are all American, all Hall of Fame skill level guys.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Hey, Mo, I'm a little concerned with Giannis. He's going into his 11th season. He's 29, and he's had trouble staying healthy the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, he hurt his Achilles and a shin or something last year. Yeah, I mean, and he played this summer, so he played for the Greece national team. So and when you watched him play, he was doing the me against the world thing. I'm going to get the rebound, dribble down, attack 5 guys, and hell, he's really good at it. But that's more wear and tear on your body that you can't afford to have. And um, you know, I, I would just like him to, and I love the guy, right? Competitive, MVP of the league. But I think he's the least skilled MVP of the NBA history, right? He's a below average 3-point shooter, below average free throw shooter, be a below average assist to turnover ratio guy. You know, and that's amazing that he's done what he's done. But I watched, if you watch, he worked on his free throw. He shortened it up. He's not taking forever. He's just getting it and shooting it. I like that. So maybe that'll improve. But, their window's closing fast.
Yeah, yeah.
And
One more
Lil,
from Dana. Mad Max, Vernon Maxwell.
yep, crazy man.
University, I think Max played at the University of Florida.
Yeah,
I,
he was a
I may
rock
have
for a long time.
I may have covered him during his college days in the SEC. Uh, Mad Max. Yeah, looking through some of our comments, I want to make sure I got everything. And Green Bay plays at the Colts. I think they're in Indy. If they're in Indy, that could be a tough game. But if they're at home, they should handle those guys. They should handle them anyway, really.
Yeah, but who knows? Jordan Love doesn't play. Who's the backup quarterback? Nobody knows. Do you know? I don't know.
Well, they traded for Patrick Willis, who Tennessee practically gave him. So it's kind
Yeah,
of
so
scary that they gave him up that easy.
that tells you something right there. That means something. I mean,
Yeah,
let's
they
face it.
got him mighty cheap. Oh,
Yeah, you cannot win and be a championship level team in the NFL unless you have a great quarterback. Not an average quarterback, not a good quarterback. I mean, let's look at the teams, right? Here's the ranking of the teams so far, and here's the quarterbacks. San Francisco, Brock Purdy. Kansas City, Mahomes. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson. Detroit, Jared Goff. Buffalo, Josh Allen. Dallas, Dak Prescott. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow. Philly, Jalen Hurts. Houston, C.J. Stroud. I mean, those are the top. That's the top 10 teams. So you have to have a quarterback at that level, or you got no chance. So Jordan Love and the Packers were ranked number 10. They lost the game, and if they lose Jordan Love for an extended period of time, that kills them. But it's amazing to me that a sport with so many positions, right? I think they have the most positions of any sport, right? Any pro sport.
yeah, yeah.
They have more than baseball, more than basketball, more than soccer. I mean, you got 11 positions on offense, 11 positions on defense, and then you have 2 kickers. I mean, but one position, quarterback, means more than anything. It's amazing to me.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
For sure.
you could,
Probably, I think it's the most important position in all of sports, Mo.
yeah. I mean, you can like in the NBA. It's really good to have a great point guard, but you can get away without having one or have someone that's not a true point guard play
Yeah,
it. You can win baseball games in the major leagues without having the Cy Young Award winner, right? You can have a decent pitchers, but you got 5 pitchers, right, or
Yeah.
4, so one of those you can replace. Yeah, I mean, hockey, maybe a goaltender, maybe in hockey, the goalie, maybe. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. It's my it blows my mind because I look at stuff and all that if you don't have a all pro quarterback, all pro level quarterback in the NFL, you can't win. You just can't. I mean, it's
Yeah. You
amazing to
can't
me.
do it. Hey, Mo, speaking of, we were talking about Anthony Edwards going off the other day. One of his teammates, Shaquille O'Neal, went off on Rudy Gobert, and he's been very critical of Gobert since he signed the $250 million contract. So Shaq says, if you sign a contract for $250 million, show me $250 million. There's a reason why I walk funny, why I can't turn my neck, and why I can't do this, because I played for my 120 million. You got guys like him that F over the system over, and they're making all this money and can't F and play. I don't respect guys like that.
So there's a couple parts
And
to that. Go ahead. What?
I mean, you gave your body up on the court too. So I know you know where Shaq is coming from.
Yeah, but so is Shaq insinuating that Rudy Gobert doesn't play hard? Is that what he's saying?
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't agree with that. You can't earn Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, in back-to-back years and not play hard, and average 10 or whatever rebounds a game now. I think he plays hard. Does he give up his body as much as people would like? No, but that's not him. And I could see Shaq saying, "Well, if you're making $200 million, you should average 20 something points a game." But that's not his role on that team. His
Yeah.
role is to rebound, block shots, protect the rim, and that kind of stuff, and finish at the rim, which he's okay with. Is he a $200 million player? No, I don't think so either. But at the same time, Shaq, come on, man. I mean,
Somebody
I've
gave it
had,
to him, right? Somebody thought he
yeah,
was.
exactly. And you can say, I wouldn't say I have no disrespect for him. You can say he's not he's not a $200 million player. He can't shoot threes.
Yeah.
He's not a very good passer. He doesn't play as hard as he should sometimes. Okay, that's legit. But you can't say I don't respect him. I mean, at the very least, Shaq, you should respect him for getting $200 million if you can't play. That's a pretty good deal. I mean,
Because you guys are businessmen at heart, right?
yeah, I mean, but I can see where he's coming from. I mean, people said that about Sean Bradley and guys like that. They're unique guys though, and they have specific roles. Sean Bradley, was more athletic than people think. He could shoot threes, he could pass, but that wasn't his role on the team. And I know Shaq hates Sean Bradley, but Sean block shots. You're playing with Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, and Mike Finley. You're not going to score. That's not your deal.
No,
Now,
that's not.
I don't think Sean wasn't tough enough. I don't think so. I don't think he cared enough about basketball. Maybe true, but at the same time, I mean, there's a catch-22 here, and come on, Shaq. I mean, aren't you a billionaire
Mo,
yet?
he didn't stop. He also thought that he also said Ben Simmons is a bum.
Yeah, I mean, I see that comment more realistic. I mean, Ben Simmons, has taken the money and held out, didn't come in, demanded a trade twice, hasn't played a game in like 2 or 3 years, I don't know, and has all these. So, I wouldn't call him a bum, but Shaq can do that. But that's different than Rudy Gobert, who I think he played in 80 games last year. and did what the coaches asked. When he was on the French team, the French coach sat him because of Wembanyama
Yeah.
play, and he couldn't play those two bigs as much as he thought. And instead of moping around, Gobert accepted, getting a medal. So I give that credit to him. But you know, I don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe he thinks I was a bum. I don't know.
Maybe Shaq was a bad day. Yeah, you know, and I'm with you, Mo, because Rudy gets out there and plays. Ben, I mean, it looked like he was really going to be a difference maker in the league when he came in. Played well his rookie year. It seems like ever since he passed up that layup in that series, Philly
Yeah,
lost. I believe it was to Boston.
yeah, that's mental though. But he's been injured, back injury. Then he left because of mental problems, which is legit if it was, but who knows if it was. And he just hasn't played. I mean, let's talk about Zion in a couple of years. Where's he going to be? He was the next best thing, right? That's
Yeah.
what that's what sometimes players come in the league as the next best thing, and it just doesn't work out.
And I think that goes back to, we were talking earlier, talking about when you recruited on the college level, what you look for in a player. I would assume on a professional level, that goes to a whole nother level in terms of finding out about the person.
Yeah, because in the pros, it's important in college, but in the pros, it's even more important. Personalities are more important. I mean, how they fit in, especially if like you have a core group of guys, and now you're going to bring in some other players. They need to fit in on the floor, but they also need to fit in the locker room, on the road, with personalities. Because if you have talented players and their personalities don't jive together, you're going to have problems. I mean, that's just the facts. And so you got to be leery, like in the NBA, you're very careful of who you add. Like the Warriors have been very careful on who they added over the years because they had to fit in with Steph and Clay and Draymond. And I think to a fault. I think they need size, but in the NBA, it's very important. You're playing in 82 regular season games, and if you're any good, you're playing another 10 or 15 postseason games. So you're at 100 games, and that's only games, practices, video sessions, airplane flights, walkthroughs, all that. All that comes into play.
I was going to ask you about the wear and tear because, we were talking, you mentioned earlier, Giannis played for France not for France, for Greece in the Olympics, but they only played, maybe 10 games or so?
Yeah.
Is that a lot? Is that
It's a month.
taxing?
It's a month. It's a month, right? A month of travel, a month of practice, a month of games, a month of time where you're normally resting your body, right? So it is.
Yeah.
It's definitely wear and tear. I mean, it's a month to 6 weeks that you usually have off, where you recuperate, you regenerate yourself both emotionally and physically. Well, that's gone. So, like we had talked about this before, NBA season is 8 months plus playoffs. You're looking at 9 months, so you get 3 months off, right? So the first month you're pretty much recuperated from the season, from the wear and tear on your body, from the mental fatigue, especially if you're in the playoffs. And how your body was broken down, and you're resting. Then you have 2 months to get in shape. The first month, the first 2 or 3 weeks, you're starting to kind of build up your body and get in on the court and getting shooting and running and sprinting on the court and conditioning and strength and conditioning. And then the last 3 weeks, you're really focusing on getting ready for training camp for 2 days. And then the season starts, you're done. So if Giannis just lost 6 weeks, he's only got 6 more weeks to do 3 months of work.
Yeah. Okay. It's not just the 10 games. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean it's
Gotcha. Gotcha.
he probably went to 5 different countries in those 10 games. So
Yeah. Hey, I want to go back to football mode. I I just saw Tariq Hill catch an 80-yard touchdown on the highlights here at halftime, but he had a situation before the game Sunday where he was arrested, detained briefly, put in handcuffs, and then goes out and has 130 yards in receptions. What was your take on that whole situation?
well, we had an incident with a golfer a while back too that happened too, right? He rode up on the curb or
Yeah,
something. He was in
Scotty
traffic.
Scheffler.
Yeah, and he didn't comply specifically, and there was an overzealous police officer that it shouldn't have escalated, but Scheffler did not he added to the problem by his actions. And the same, I just watched the footage with Tariq Hill, so um, you know, it's a and first of all, he wasn't arrested; he was detained and given
He was on a motorcycle.
the cops.
No, he was in his car. He was in his car. Yeah,
Yeah,
a
his
motorcycle cop pulled him over.
yeah, there's about 5 of them there. He was in his Lambo or whatever that had the windows, the doors that go up, right? So, uh, uh, so he wasn't arrested. He was given a ticket for reckless driving, supposedly, but he was detained and brought to the ground and handcuffed, which I think was excessive for sure. But the problem is when you watch the body cam of the police officers who the one guy who is overzealous. He is. But Tariq kind of started it with, so he was pulled over for reckless driving, whatever that was. I don't know. Then the officer knocked on his window, and Tariq rolled down his window and said, "What the F are you?" He might not have said F, but what the hell are you rapping on my window for? All crazy like. And then he rolled up his window. And then the officer's like, roll down your window. And he wouldn't roll down his window. And then he rolled it down it a little bit and said, "Why are you rapping on my window like that? I didn't do nothing." And then he rolled back his window. And then the officer opened the door. Said, "No," he said, "if you don't roll down your window, we're gonna have to get you out of the car." And he didn't roll down his window. And they opened up his door and they took him out of the car. And then he's like yelling, why did you grab on my? And then the police officer was overzealous and like uh, like detained him a little bit, and then he wasn't being like crazy, but he still wasn't listening. And then the officer he shouldn't have took him to the ground and handcuffed him. He did not need to do that. Um, but part of it's on Tyreek Hill. All he had to do is roll down his window. That's all he had to do. If he roll, and I don't care if you're what color you are. If a police officer pulls you over, roll down the window. If he would have gave him his license, there would have been nothing. Oh, sorry. Good luck today.
Right.
Boom. And then
Right.
added to the problem is his teammates. One of them, an offensive lineman or defensive, a big dude, pulls in front of his car that was pulled out, parks, and gets out of his car and starts walking towards the police. A 300-pound guy starts walking towards the police going, "What's going on? Don't do that." You know, just stay where you are, monitor the situation, take care of your teammate, video it if you want to make sure nothing goes wrong, and tell your teammate, "Hey, chill out. Everything's going to be fine." And I think Tyreek was yelling for call Jeff or somebody because I think that was the head of security for the football team, which is the right idea. So that question is, did the officer need to do that? Absolutely not. He was out of bounds. He's suspended. I think he should have never done that. Tyreek Hill, even though he played the innocent guy, wasn't totally innocent in that. If an officer tells you to roll down your window, just roll down your window. And if you put your hands up, whatever you want to do. But then the other part of that, to go and perform at the highest level that he did, in a game less than 2 hours later shows a lot of mental toughness and just being a pro. I mean, I'm still hurt that he left the Chiefs, but
He,
it's
the
too
date
every
Scotty that
yeah.
when Scotty Scheffler had that incident at the PGA, oh well, he left jail and went out and shot 66.
Yep. Maybe it puts more focus on you. Maybe more people should get detained.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not a good idea.
Is that going to help my golf game? I'm considering it, man.
So let me ask you this then. So after he scores the touchdown, he puts his hands behind his back and his teammate acts like he's arresting him.
Yeah.
Is that good, bad, or out of bounds? What do you think?
I don't like that, man.
You
I
do
don't
or you
like
don't?
that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. And I'm all about complying. Let's just get this over with,
Yeah.
because I'm going to comply. And then if I feel disrespected after complying to what you said, I'm going to report you.
Yep. And I'm going to
But I'm
demand
going to start, because number one, I don't want anything escalating.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yep.
want to get that interaction over with, so I can go about my business and you go about your business.
Write me the ticket if you want to. I don't care. I can demand the body footage. I can take it to court, whatever, but get through the business. I mean, my son's in law enforcement, and if you're pulling over people, first of all, they have you can't see who's inside there. So, almost all the vehicles have tinted windows. So, I got pulled over because I was this or that. That's not usually true because they don't know who's in the car. But then
Yeah.
people that here in Nevada, there's people that are not citizens of the United States. They're their own citizens or whatever they call them. So they don't go by the rules. They don't believe that they don't believe they have to pay taxes. They don't believe that a police officer has ability over them. They don't believe that a judge can do anything to them. They don't believe that. So what they do is they never roll down their window and they say, I'm not talking to you, or they have a sign that says, I'm a sovereign citizen and I'm passing through. But that doesn't work. All that does is get the guy pissed off, get the officer pissed off. Or they roll their window down this much, a tinted window this much.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're putting everybody on edge with that. Hey, Mo, we just got a couple more minutes here. Steve is worried about the Warriors because they have not seen a big man.
They don't. I agree. I don't understand. And now they're balking at a supposed trade with Podrzik or whatever, the young point guard, to Utah for their big 7-foot guy that's averaging like 18 and 12. I don't, I love the Warriors. I play for the Warriors. Steve Kerr's my guy, but they haven't had a big guy in years, and they haven't won in years. You're not going to win against Anthony Davis, LeBron James. You're not going to win against the Joker in Denver. You're not going to win against Dallas, who now has Lively in that group, unless you have a big guy, some big guy. They don't have anybody.
You know what? I think they've gotten too stuck on Draymond guarding these guys.
Yeah, you can't. Draymond can't guard. No one can really guard the Joker, but Draymond can't. Draymond's like a flea on him. Get off of me. I mean, come on, man. Charles Barkley back in the day at 6'5" could guard McHale and guys for a few, for some possessions or a quarter, but not over the long run. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, yeah. Steve, my son's police officer, nervous as a shot from drivers.
Steve, I'm with you. The number one dangerous situation is when they go to a home and it's domestic abuse call. That's dangerous. Officers get shot all the time. They get ambushed, and then pulling somebody over. People shoot through their window. People roll down their window and shoot immediately, and those are two dangerous situations that scare the hell out of me. And it's just, so why in the hell would you not roll down your damn window? I mean, just think, if you are, All right. You got a gun, but it's in your holster. So, by the time you pull it out, if someone shoots you, you're dead. So you're going up to a car. You can't see in the window. You don't know who's driving that car. Even though you ran the license plate, you think who's driving. You don't know if they're driving or not. You don't know if they have a gun pointed right at you as you walk up to them. That's why they're asking you to roll down the window. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I think that's a fair request, Mo. That's a very fair request.
Tell them to stay safe. I worry about our son all the time.
Hey, and to everybody that wears the blue, stay safe. Hey, just a couple of minutes left, Paul. Any final thoughts?
No, I'm interested because I have my eye on the Jets and Niners game right now, and Aaron Rodgers looks pretty darn good for an old man. I mean, I think they're losing right now, but that's interesting to me. Yeah, they're losing 16-7, but early on in the season, it's going to be an interesting run in the NFL. Can the Chiefs three-peat? That I don't think it's ever been done, has it? I don't think it's ever
Never been done.
Yeah, I mean that's a hard record to break, but they're right there.
But as you say in basketball, even more so in the NFL, tell me who's going to be healthy at the end of the year.
Tell me who has a quarterback.
If the Chiefs, right. I was just going to say, if the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, they got a damn good chance of.
Yeah, I mean,
three-peat.
Yeah, here's some long shots for you, right? Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers have good defense, solid offensive line, and they have Russell Wilson and Justin Fields as quarterbacks. So one goes down, they got the other one. I like that. And I just finished watching HBO's Behind the Camera or whatever with the NFL stuff, and they had the Chicago Bears on there. And I watched that. Caleb Williams is a real deal, man. He could be something special. So I like how about the Bears Lions? When are they playing? I want to see that game. That'll be good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's down the road, but they'll play each other twice. The NFC North is a much improved division with the Packers improved, the Lions improved, the Bears improved, and Minnesota still got some dangerous weapons. So that'll be fun to see.
Lions, Packers, and Bears. Lions, Packers, and Bears.
Hey, we want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we will be back here next Monday night. Check us out. Appreciate all your comments. Thank you, Dana and Steve and everybody else. Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Spread the word, man. We have fun here. Sports talk.
Absolutely.
With
man Paul Mokeski. No, go ahead, Mo.
With two good guys. That's what I was going to say.
Well, my great friend Paul Mokeski. I'm Rick Hampton. Peace, everybody. Go Lions, baby.